So this is how to create a killer YouTube video to blow up your channel. Now put this video on full screen, grab a notebook just like this, take some notes, and let's get into it. Part number 1, hook people instantly. You see, your title plus thumbnail combination, the packaging, matter more than the actual video itself. I figured this out way too late on my discipline/self-improvement channel, and what ended up happening is I was just not getting the views that the channel deserved. I was making videos that were so good, that I thought were so good, but they wouldn't get views, they wouldn't grow the channel because the packaging was not aligned. If the packaging is off, then nothing else matters. Even amazing packaging can save a mediocre video. A mediocre video can get views if the title, the thumbnail, and the intro are really good. And you probably heard this 1,000 times, but you still continue to make bad thumbnails and bad titles. Titles that don't evoke any emotion, any curiosity, or any just like interest. The way I make thumbnails is I take all the B-roll shots that I have, I put them together, and then I just grab a still on DaVinci Resolve. Around 9 months ago, when my channel started to really take off, that's also the time where I started to develop this unique thumbnail style. I would basically have this split screen of different B-roll frames. So instead of just having one frame of the thumbnail, I'd have one frame on the third, and I'd have 3 of those frames on each third. And then I'd have big text, the same font, the same design, just so it becomes this unique brand identity. So people, once they see your thumbnail and packaging, they know that this is Dan's video or this is the discipline video. And this creates this viewer interest that keeps compounding. So to nail down the packaging, you can do 2 things. Number 1 is you can create your own packaging and really put a lot of thought into how this is gonna evoke emotion, interest, and curiosity. Or another thing is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can look at what packaging is already working. Look at outlier videos. For example, a video that has 100,000 views, but the channel only has 1,000 subs. That is an outlier video, meaning the video did really well because of the packaging. And you could repackage that packaging for yourself, for your own video, and make your completely different, entirely different video on it. Now, when it comes to packaging, it is not just about thumbnail and title, it's also about the intro, the hook. The first 15 seconds actually decide if a person is gonna stay or leave. So don't confuse them. Confusion equals people clicking off. If you get them to click because of thumbnail and title saying something, and then the video is about something slightly different, it's gonna turn off the viewer. Even a 10% misalignment between what the title and thumbnail promise and the actual video itself is gonna have that, that click in the viewer's mind where they think, this is not worth my time. Make it very, very simple. Make your intro exactly describe one-to-one what the thumbnail and the title create in terms of viewer expectations. Now, one thing that is going to allow you to create that killer YouTube video that blows up your channel is actually creating a curiosity gap in the thumbnail, the title, or the hook of the video. I'm going to show you exactly how. Now, if you're watching these videos, it means you are on your way to become a top creator this year. So subscribe to the channel and let's get there together. Part number 2, the curiosity loop. So you constantly need to give the viewer a reason to stay. So having constant hooks throughout the video, not just in the beginning, in the intro, but constant verbal and maybe even visual hooks every 2 minutes, because this just renews the interest in the viewer. This is going to lead to a way higher retention, way higher watch time, and as a result, way higher views to grow your channel. So to renew this interest, you need to do these things. Either introduce a twist, introduce new information, or a big payoff that they can expect. Now, I know what people have told you. People have told you that you could just be your authentic self and just talk to the camera for 30 minutes with no cuts and just breathe and go and drink water and come back, and the viewer is still going to be engaged. The truth is, you need fast cuts. People, they could be watching any other video. Think about it. In the time that they're watching your video, they're spending that decision, that mental energy to just sit down and watch your single YouTube video when they could watch dozens of other videos. They could be doing hundreds of other things in that time. Now, the truth is, at the start, nobody cares about you. You're not a celebrity. You're not a public figure. You're just a regular person like me. So you need to give people a reason to watch. So cut the boring parts, fast pacing wins, and just look at Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast has a cut, a scene change, something new that happens in the video every 3 seconds. Now, I'm not saying you need to do it like every 3 seconds and overdo it, but you need some level of editing to make your video high quality, to make your video stand out. Honestly, I genuinely think that unfiltered videos for 99% of people is not going to work. People just don't care enough to sit through a 15-minute long video of you just yapping and talking about, what you care about. People are here to receive value. They're watching your video for a purpose, and people are thinking about themselves. They're going to watch a video thinking, how is this going to help me? They don't really care about you. They don't really care about your background, but they care about how your information and your video is going to change and transform their own lives. It's the same thing in sales. It's the same thing when you're dealing with people. You need to address the person. You need to think about, how do I make this about them? How do I make this about the buyer and not about me? Now, what a curiosity gap actually is, it's a simple question. What is the difference between what I now know and what I will know at the end of this video? So when you have a curiosity gap, it means that your thumbnail and title, they create a question that is not answered immediately. There's still that, you know, that cliffhanger. There's that, like, what is this? Like, what is this video about? If your title is something like the one thing that helps me stay productive, and you make a really cool thumbnail, but you don't reveal everything about the video, as soon as somebody sees that, they're gonna ask themselves, what is the one thing that keeps you productive? And it is all about keeping your audience in a loop. Now, this happens naturally. Like, this is not some sales tactic. It just happens naturally when you have a naturally interesting story. When the structure of the video is made to give value, it is made to transform the viewers' lives, curiosity gaps and loops are going to come naturally. Now, if you're enjoying content like this, then drop a follow, subscribe to the channel where you can learn how to build your personal brand. Part number 3, the don't teach, reveal shift. Now, you need to make your content feel like a discovery, not a lesson. If you're just giving information, then like, what separates your video from ChatGPT? This is why vloggers and live streamers do this so well. There's always the question of what is going to happen next. Teaching is predictable. It can be found anywhere, but experiencing is something else. Experiencing is what allows a viewer to become a fan. It is what is going to allow you to separate yourself from all the noise. The moment you can perfectly mix and combine the teachings, the lessons, the information, and the value with the actual experience, which could be, you know, cinematography, really cool visuals, editing, a very charismatic person, or somebody who's funny. When you can combine the two, that creates the perfect educational video. The video that is not just going to grow your personal brand, but is going to make you a figure that people can't forget, and it is going to allow you to live a life of freedom. You've definitely seen those unboxing videos. The reason why they're interesting is because the person doesn't unbox everything at once. They unbox part by part by part. And every single part, you're thinking to yourself, what is going to be the next one? What is in the next wrapper or box or container? So revealing something is actually very addictive. And it is all about framing ideas, not like tutorials, but like secrets. This is going to change the game. So instead of just having tailored guide, you know, how-to informational content, you're going to want to mix in your story. You're going to want to add in some humor. You're going to want to add in some character, add in some cinematic visuals, add in some cool editing as well. And it is about combining all of these elements into one single video to make the killer video that will blow up your channel. You see, what makes a perfect video is being perfect in every single area. When you have everything that just meets like 80 to 90% consistency, that is when the video does well. When you have a really good title, a pretty good thumbnail, a very good intro, a decent structured video, good value, and you just have all of these like 1% improvements and optimizations, they just stack up and make a very, very good video. In 1 year, you will see amazing results. You will scale your personal brand more than you think. It is just about consistency, not just in quantity, but in quality as well. And that is where you need to realize this is a personal brand. People want you. People want not just information, but your information, your experiences, and your wisdom. So I hope you took some notes and got some value from everything I've shared in this video. To scale your personal brand, we are going to be launching Content OS, which is a school community that helps you grow your personal brand. We're going to be launching it at 1,000 subscribers. So take care, and you got this.